Hello everyone, today we are going to learn Chapter 1, The Wonderful World of Science from your science textbook. In this video, I'll be covering each and every line from the chapter so you don't miss anything important. Make sure to keep your notebook and pen ready and take notes while watching. This will help you remember the concepts better. You can pause or rewind any time to write things down. So, let's begin. As human beings, we have always been curious about our surroundings. We start exploring our surroundings and asking questions right from our childhood. Did you enjoy discovering and exploring the world around you in the preparatory stage of school? As you enter the middle stage, we will continue this fascinating journey trying to explore and understand the beautiful world we live in. And for that, we have a new subject, science. Welcome to the wonderful world of science. So, human beings are always curious about the world. When you were small, you started asking questions like, why is the sky blue? Or how do plants grow? In the preparatory stage of school, you learn by seeing, doing and asking. That was your way of learning. Now that you are in class 6, you have entered the middle stage of school. We are going to explore even more amazing things like how things work, how living beings survive, and what makes our planet so special. To help us explore and understand the world better, we have a new subject, science. Science will help you find answers to all those questions in your mind. Welcome to the wonderful world of science. What is science? Science is a way of thinking, observing and doing things to understand the world we live in and to uncover the secrets of the universe. Think of it as the big adventure. We ask questions, explore the world and try to understand how things work. For this, the most important thing is to have curiosity, which is where the title of this book comes from. So what is science? Science is a way of thinking, observing and doing things to help us understand the world around us. It's like going on a big adventure. We ask questions, look carefully at things, do experiments and try to understand how and why things happen. To become good at science, the most important thing you need is curiosity, the desire to know more and to ask questions like, why does this happen? What if I try this? That's why the title of this book is Curiosity, because curious minds make great scientists. Whether it is studying tiny grains of sand or massive mountains, a leaf of grass or a vast forest, there is always something new and exciting to discover. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered why the stars shine, or watched a flower bloom and wonder how it knows when to open? Whether it's a tiny grains of sand or huge mountains, a small blade of grass or a big forest, there is always something new and exciting to discover. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered why the stars shine? Or watched a flower bloom and asked yourself how it knows the right time to open? Science helps us find answers to these amazing questions. These are just a few of the many mysteries that science helps us unravel. The most wonderful thing about science is that it is everywhere. From the depths of the ocean to the vastness of our outer space, from what is cooking in the kitchen to what is happening on the playground, some of the most groundbreaking discoveries have often come from unexpected places. So, these are just a few of the many mysteries that science helps us understand. The most amazing thing about science is that it is everywhere, from the deepest parts of the ocean to the far reaches of outer space, from what's cooking in the kitchen to what's happening on the playground. Some of the most important discoveries have come from the most unexpected places. So, here we see a mountainous region. Science explains how mountains are formed and the natural forces that shape them. Next, we have a desert. Science helps us learn how the desert's hot and dry environment works and how plants and animals survive there. Next is the coast. The coast is where the land meets the sea. Science helps us study the movement of waves and tides. Underwater ocean. Science explores the ocean's depths, discovering new creatures and understanding underwater environments. Next, we have the picture of a galaxy. Science helps us explore the huge space beyond Earth, understanding stars, planets, and how the universe began. Science is like a giant and unending jigsaw puzzle. Every new discovery we make adds another piece to that puzzle. And you know the best thing about this puzzle, there is no limit to what we can discover. Since every new piece of knowledge leads to more questions and more things to find out. Sometimes we find that a piece of this puzzle has been put in the wrong place and needs to be moved. New discoveries often change our understanding of the world. So, science is like a huge, never-ending jigsaw puzzle. Every new discovery we make is like adding another piece to that puzzle, and there is no limit to what we can discover. Every new piece of knowledge gives us more questions and things to explore. Sometimes we realize that a piece we put in the puzzle was in the wrong place, so we have to move it. This means new discoveries can change the way we understand the world around us. As you go through this book, you will encounter interesting ideas. Do some thought-provoking experiments and see how some of what we will find out is useful in our daily lives. And guess what happens as we discover more and more? We start realizing that these ideas are all connected. So, as you read this book, you will discover many interesting ideas and try some fun experiments that make you think. You will also see what you learn can be useful in your everyday life. And as you discover more and more, you will see that all these ideas are connected. What will we explore with the help of this book? We will start off by looking at our home planet Earth. It is the only planet we know that supports life, and it has an environment that we must protect. There is an amazing variety of life on Earth, plants and animals that have managed to survive and thrive in different regions on this planet. You might have seen a seed grow into a plant, a caterpillar transform into a beautiful butterfly, and many more such observations. How do these plants and animals grow? Let's begin by exploring our home planet Earth. Earth is the only planet we know that supports life. It has a special environment that we need to take care of and protect. There are many different kinds of life on Earth. Plants and animals that live in all kinds of places around the world. Maybe you have seen a tiny seed grow into a big plant or watched a caterpillar change into a beautiful butterfly. Have you ever wondered how do these plants and animals grow and change? Of course, to grow, we need food to eat, and especially in a large and diverse country like India, food is so fascinating. Across the country, we have different cuisines with their many tasty dishes. What are they made of? How do we find out? Of course, to grow, we need food to eat. And in a big and diverse country like India, food is really fascinating. All across India, there are many different kinds of foods and tasty dishes. Have you ever wondered what these food are made of? And How can we find out? Along with food, we need water to survive. Water is such a delightful substance. Have you ever jumped in a puddle when it rained? Do you ever wonder why and how it rains? Along with food, we need water to survive. Water is an amazing and important substance. Have you ever jumped in a puddle after it rained? But have you ever wondered why it rains and how the water falls from the sky? Have you noticed that water freezes and becomes ice when we cool it and boils and becomes steam when we heat it? Do you enjoy drinking cool water in the summer or showering with warm water in the winter? How do we understand hot and cold? Whether it is water or our own body when we have fever, finding out how hot something is can be important. You might have noticed that water freezes and turns into ice when it gets cold. And when we heat water, it boils and turns into steam. Do you enjoy drinking cool water on a hot summer day or taking a warm shower in the winter? Have you ever wondered how do we understand if something is hot or cold? Whether it's water or even our own body when we have a fever, knowing how hot or cold something is can be very important. Then again, there are so many different things around us. The paper we write on, the metal key, the plastic ruler, and the rubber eraser. In our box, the magnet that keeps the box closed, the clothes we wear, the cup we drink milk in, and so many other things. What are they made of? Are they made of different materials? How do we separate different materials from one another? Look around you. There are so many different things. The paper you write on, the metal key, the plastic ruler, the rubber eraser in your pencil box, the magnet that keeps the box closed, the clothes you wear, the cup you drink milk, and many more. Have you ever wondered what these things are made of? Are they all made of same material or are they different? And how can we separate one material from another? These are the kinds of questions science helps us explore by looking closely, asking questions, and doing experiments. We will have an almost unending list of questions about everything on Earth as we further explore this book. But why limit our questions to the Earth alone? We can ask questions on things beyond the sun, the moon, and the millions of stars that shine in the sky. So, as we explore this book, we will come across so many interesting questions about everything on Earth. And also, ask questions about things beyond Earth, like the sun, the moon, and the millions of stars that shine in the night sky. Science helps us ask and explore all kinds of questions, from the smallest things around us to the farthest objects in space. Whether you're learning about the structure of a leaf, discovering how things move, or separating the skin of a peanut seed, we hope each chapter of this book will ignite your spirit of inquiry. And hopefully, you will have lots of questions on your mind. Whether you're learning about the structure of a leaf, finding out how things move, or even peeling the skin of a peanut seed, each chapter in this book is designed to spark your curiosity. We hope that as you read, explore, and experiment, you will start asking more and more questions because that's how science begins. So get ready to think, observe, and discover. How can we try to find answers to our questions on our own? Even though you may have not realized, you have already been finding answers to many of your questions. Suppose your pen stops writing. What would you do? You would ask yourself the question, why did my pen stop writing? You might guess that the ink finished. So, even if you didn't notice it, you have already been finding answers to many of your own questions. For example, imagine your pen stops writing. What would you do? You would ask yourself, why did my pen stop working? Then you try to guess the reason. Maybe the ink is finished. You would then test this guess by opening the pen and checking the ink refill. If it is empty, you would know that your guess was correct. But suppose you found that the ink was not finished. Now what would you do? You would make another guess. Perhaps the ink might have dried up. To test if this guess is correct or not, you will try something else. So, next you would test your guess by opening the pen and checking the ink refill. If it's empty, then you know your guess was correct. But what if the ink is not finished? Then you would ask another question. Maybe the ink has dried up. And to check if that's true, you would try something else, like scribbling on another paper or shaking the pen gently. This is exactly how science works. The way you try to find out why your pen stopped writing is an example of the scientific method. So, this is exactly how science works, by asking questions, thinking of possible answers, and then checking to see if you're right. The way you try to figure out why your pen stopped writing is an example of the scientific method. Asking a question, making a guess, testing it, and finding the answer. Activity 1.1. Let us think and write. Write about a similar problem that you tried to solve. What steps did you take? You need to write about a similar problem that you tried to solve. Think of a time when something didn't work or something went wrong and you figured out what to do. Now, answer these questions. What was the problem? What did you think might be the reason? That is your guess. How did you check your guess? Was your guess correct? If not, what else did you try? How did you finally solve the problem? Write the answers for these questions in your notebook. Science is not just about memorizing facts and figures or doing experiments. It is about following a step-by-step process that helps us find answers to our questions. So, what are the steps that we can follow? So, science is not only about learning facts or doing experiments, it's much more than that. Science is about using a step-by-step process to find answers to questions we have about the world around us. So, instead of just memorizing things, we need to ask how and why things happen. We do that by thinking of possible answers and testing them and learning from the results. First, we observe something that we find interesting or we do not understand. This makes us wonder and perhaps think of a question about it. Then, we guess a possible answer to that question. We test this guess through experiments or more observations. We then try to analyze the results to see if it actually answers our question. When we do science, we usually start by noticing something interesting or something we don't fully understand. This makes us curious and we begin to ask questions about it. Then we make a guess about what we think the answer might be. Next, we test our guess by doing an experiment or observing more carefully. Finally, we look at the results to see if our guess was right and if we have really answered the question. Scientists are people who follow the scientific method to solve problems or to discover new things. But anyone who follows the scientific method is working like a scientist. Someone cooking food may be wondering why the dal has spilled out of the cooker. Was there too much water? Scientists are people who use the scientific method to solve problems or to learn something new. Anyone who follows the steps of the scientific method is acting like a scientist. For example, someone cooking in the kitchen might wonder, why did the dal spill out of the cooker? Then they ask a question, was there too much water? That's just like making a guess and trying to find the reason, just like scientists do. Think of a bicycle repair person trying to find out why a tire is flat. From where did the air leak out? Or an electrician trying to find why a light bulb is not working. Is there some problem with the bulb or the switch? When we try to ask questions and find out answers, we are all, in a way, scientists. Let's look at some more examples of people thinking like scientists in everyday life. A bicycle repair person. He might wonder, why is the tire flat? They ask questions like, where did the air leak out from? And then they check to find the answer. An electrician might ask, why isn't the light bulb working? Is the problem with the bulb or maybe with the switch? They test different things step by step to solve the problem, just like scientists do. So, when you ask questions and try to find answers, you are also thinking like a scientist. Activity 1.2. Describe a daily life situation where you think someone was following a scientific method. So, describe a daily life situation where someone, it could be you, a family member, or someone in your neighborhood who was trying to solve a problem by asking questions and testing ideas step by step. Do you now realize that there are several daily life situations where we knowingly or unknowingly apply the scientific method? Though we all apply the scientific method to some extent, learning science will develop our capabilities for finding solutions to bigger problems and solving more mysteries of the universe. And to be able to learn science well, the first and foremost thing is to be curious and observe your surroundings keenly. And when we are curious, we start posing questions, asking how and why. Just remember, the world is full of things we do not know, things that are waiting to be explored. Have you noticed that in many situations in our daily life, we are already using the scientific method, even if we don't realize it? We all do it in small ways, like solving a problem at home or figuring out why something isn't working. But when we learn science, we become even better at solving bigger problems and discovering new things about the world. To learn science well, the most important thing is to be curious, to observe carefully and ask questions like, why is this happening, or how does this work? The world is full of things we don't know yet, and they are just waiting for us to explore them. Activity 1.3. If you have to ask why about something, what would you ask about? Try to write down how you would attempt to find an answer to your question. If you have to ask why about something, what would you ask? Think about something around you that makes you curious. It can be something you have seen, heard, or experienced. Ask a why question about it, just like a scientist would. How would you try to find the answer? Would you observe something, ask someone, read a book, or do a small experiment? Science is rarely done alone. Scientists across the world work together, often in large teams. So, if you cannot find an answer yourself, ask your friends to help you out. It is always more fun to discover things together. Science is not something we do all by ourselves. Scientists from all over the world work together, often in big teams. If you can't find the answer to your questions alone, don't worry. You can always ask your friends or classmates to help you. Working together makes discovering new things more fun and exciting. Of course, remember that you will not find answers to all your questions in grade 6. Do not worry. You're embarking upon a journey of science for the next 5 years or even beyond. So remember, you won't find answers to all your questions right now in grade 6, and that's completely okay. Science is a journey that you will keep going on for many years, and not just this year. Over the next 5 years and even beyond, you will keep learning, exploring, and discovering new things. Much like children enjoying the rain, science is all about joyful exploration. Enjoy your scientific journey, keep exploring, and never stop wondering about the amazing mysteries of the universe and asking questions. Just like children love playing and having fun in the ring, science is also about joyful exploration, discovering new things with excitement and happiness. Enjoy your journey of science. Keep exploring the world around you, stay curious, and never stop asking questions about the amazing mysteries of the universe. After all, to be a wise person, you must be a wise person. To be really wise, you need to be a wise person. That means always asking why, being curious, and wanting to understand the reasons behind things. The more you ask why, the more you learn and grow. Are you ready to embark upon the exciting journey of science? Let us get started. Are you ready to begin this exciting journey of science? Get ready to explore, ask questions, and discover amazing things. Let's get started. I hope you will be curious about science as we have completed our chapter 1. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.